Welcome friends to the 2027 Hyundai Kona. We have some very subtle updates to talk about, and these are going to be your official updates from Hyundai themselves. And if you stay tuned until the end of this video, I can share with you how you can save with new vehicles. All right, let's get started here. Regarding the Kona, only the ICE model remains. They have discontinued the full EV version, at least for now. And regarding the pure gas model, we still have the same 4 trim levels. We have the SE and the SEL Sport, and they come with the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. Then we have the SEL Premium and the Limited at the top. These two trims come with the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Okay, and one of the updates for the 2027 Kona regarding the entry-level SE model, they have dropped the idle stop and go, or the ISG system. So that's that auto stop start function where when you come to a stop, the vehicle shuts off the engine. Okay, that's cool. That's kind of a pro for most people, I feel like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. And aside from that, they have made the ambient lighting exclusive to the limited trim level. Before, it was also available with the SEL Premium. Now you have to exclusively get the limited top trim level if you want that ambient lighting. And we do have the official prices here from Hyundai. Fortunately, the prices have remained the same. Still starts at $25,500 for a front-wheel drive SE, and a top-of-the-line limited all-wheel drive, that's going to be $34,035, so that's your range. And make sure to add $1,600 for the destination charge to the prices listed. Now, those are pretty much all of your updates. Strangely enough, when you go on Hyundai's own consumer website, you can't build the 2027 Kona. They're still showing the 2026. Again, the prices are the same. However, the 2027, it is on sale right now. In fact, there's 3,700 available for sale throughout the entire country, and there's over 10,000 2026s available for sale throughout the entire country. So definitely, if you're interested in buying the Kona, I do recommend negotiating on the remaining 2026s because you should be able to get a deeper discount on a 2026. And obviously, of the 3,700 2027s, the majority of them, they're going to be in transit and not actually physically on the lot, so keep that in mind as well. But regardless, for the 2026s, the SEL Sport trim, that seems to be the most plentiful, followed by the Limited, the SEL Premium, and the base SE at the bottom. Now, which trim level do I personally recommend? I would actually go with the SEL Sport. So that's the model with the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, the 2-liter, with 147 horsepower and 132 pounds-feet of torque. Sounds abysmal and pathetic on paper, but in the real world, this engine actually motivates these SUVs just fine, and it gets tremendous real-world fuel economy as well, and that's just what matters to most families. And I would also stick with the front-wheel drive as well. That gets noticeably better fuel economy, 28 city, 35 out of the highway, as opposed to the all-wheel drive SEL Sport, which gets 26 city, 29 out of the highway. Now, if you need all-wheel drive, go ahead. It's an additional $1,500 to add that to the SEL Sport. And to be honest, I don't even know why they're offering the SE to begin with. There's not even a big price delta between the SE to the SEL Sport. And the SEL Sport, it's going to come with the leather-wrapped steering wheel, the wireless phone charger. You actually get the tinted privacy glass for the rear, and you also get something known as the Aero wiper blades. All right, you begin to get that with the SEL Sport and above, and the outside mirrors are actually heated with the SEL Sport. You get some nicer, in my opinion, cooler looking 18-inch wheels that are fully blacked out with the SEL Sport. So a lot of neat touches like that. That's just what I recommend. Now, if you want that turbo engine, the 1.6 liter with 190 horsepower, 195 pounds-feet of torque, well, now you're going to be choosing between the SEL Premium and the Limited. The good news is the turbo engine can also take regular fuel. The price delta between the Limited and the SEL Premium, it's a noticeable amount, about $4,000. I just think that the less you pay with this brand, the better. And they are truly gatekeeping the very premium features for the Limited, like the Bose audio system, the hands-free smart liftgate with the auto open, the 360 camera, and even the heated steering wheel as well, along with some other features. So again, up to you, but I think the SEL Sport is perfect for the Kona. Regarding special offers, when you go on Hyundai's website, you can see the current incentives, finance rates, etc. Right now it's 3.49% for 60 months, and there's potentially $1,000 in incentives as well. And the special offers, that's going to update every month. And I promised at the beginning that I'll talk about how you can save with new vehicles, but before I get to that, I want to talk about a free leasing tool. It's a free leasing calculator from AutoCompanion, the company I'm about to mention. But this calculator, it's free to use, and it shows you the interest rate of a lease, the residual values, and the incentives that you can get in your local zip code. So I use this calc to run numbers on a 2026 SCL Sport all-wheel drive Kona. Sticker price $29,414. I applied a 10% off discount, and that's a dealer discount, mind you, not an incentive. So that's what the dealership themselves need to discount for this deal to happen and make sense. I'm using Pennsylvania as the example state on a 3-year lease, 10,000 miles a year, assuming you have perfect credit. This Kona, it's going to lease out for $381 per month. That doesn't sound too bad, and there's even a $2,500 lease cash as well, which is great because if you get 10% off, that's $2,900 off the sticker price from the dealership. You stack $2,500 on top, that's like $5,400 off the sticker price with that lease cash. Sounds good, but the interest rate on this lease, it's 5.45%. That is not brilliant. I guess it's okay if you're just focused on getting a cheap payment. However, you're not really going to have much equity in this car at the end of the lease like you would with a Toyota or a Honda, because Hyundais, Kias, Nissans, they naturally just don't have the same resale value as Honda and Toyota. And when you tack on this higher interest rate on the lease, it pretty much guarantees that you're not going to have any real equity at the end of 3 years. But yeah, $380 with no money down, that is impressive. And in fact, you can save even more by doing something known as a one-pay lease, where you make $12,351 as a one-time payment upfront. That way you prepay the lease for 3 years, and that'll actually cut the interest rate down to 4.49%. So about 1% less, and that's cool. And that cuts your payment down to an equivalent of $343 per month. Now, why does all this matter? Well, number one, this calculator, it's actually showing you the true mechanics behind leasing, because it's not as easy as just saying, oh, leasing is just fleecing or you're just renting a vehicle. It's not that easy. Most people do not understand leasing. They're just misleading people and misguiding people. Quite frankly, these are the true numbers, and this calculator will also update every month. So it's truly one of the most powerful tools at a consumer's disposal. It's like a dealership level tool. You compare that with the financing, which is going to be $547 a month. Again, using Pennsylvania as the example, they have slightly higher taxes. That's why I'm using them. So great. It seems like you're saving almost $200 every month doing the lease compared to financing. But when you look at the total loan interest paid, it's going to be $2,747 on the finance. Whereas on the lease, even if you did the one-pay lease, you're paying $2,800 just in interest alone. So that's actually more interest being paid on the lease. And the lease is only for 3 years. The financing is for 60 months. So you see how there's like all these like little nuances. If you're math savvy and you want to take your time combing over these numbers, you can certainly do that. The calculator will be linked below. But the question that the average consumer wants to know is, well, should you lease the Kona? I mean, if you just want the low payment, go ahead. If you just don't care, if you know you're just going to be cycling through cars every 3 years and you just want cheap payments, the Hyundai Kia brand, it is pretty good for that. But also Mazda is worth looking into as well. I like Mazda because they tend to have much lower interest rates, sometimes even close to 0% interest on some of their leases for certain models. That means you have more of a chance of having equity at the end. And what does it mean to have equity at the end? Well, every lease has a set residual value, and this is why I recommend leasing for a lot of people. It's because with that set residual value, that's something you don't get with the finance. That means you'll pretty much never have negative equity at the end of 3 years. The set residual value for this particular Kona, it's $17,648. If the vehicle is only worth $15K at the end of 3 years, well, that's not your problem. You just turn the keys back in. But on the flip side, if the car is actually worth 20 grand and you can just trade in at Carvana or CarMax or something, and they're willing to pay you 20 grand at the end of 3 years, that means you will have positive equity of like $2,400 at the end. So you'll have a check made out to you for $2,400 at the end, and that's what happens when you have a more high resale value vehicle, and you'll have a better opportunity of making something like that happen when you have a lower interest rate on the lease. So again, leasing is not just throwing money away. You are actually building equity in a lease, so don't let people misguide you. But okay, enough of that. As promised at the beginning of this video, here's how you can save on new vehicles. Once again, you can reach out to AutoCompanion. They're not just responsible for that calculator, they are also one of the largest car brokers in the United States. They have deep discounts, like 10 to 12% off sticker price on Nissan, Subaru, and Mazda right now. Regarding Toyota, they have deep discounts on the trucks like the Tacomas and the Tundras. But yeah, Mazda, great brand, excellent discounts on the CX-5, the CX-50, definitely vehicles that I recommend. Not to say that I hate the Kona. The Kona is also excellent. I do like the way Hyundais and Kias drive. Sadly, AutoCompanion right now does not have any Hyundai Kia deals. And you know, 10 to 12% off, you don't have to fight for this. You don't have to play with any of the dealership games. You don't have to worry about paying any additional nitrogen fees or tint fees or dealer add-ons. You don't have to worry about any of those type of shenanigans when you work with AutoCompanion. So you just have these pre-negotiated deals. Car buying makes you anxious, you don't think you know what you're doing, then you can absolutely pay a company like AutoCompanion their concierge fee, and them and their partner dealerships take care of everything for you. It's always a stress-free, elegant process working with them. And if you mention my channel, they will actually take $50 off of their fee, and I really appreciate them doing that for my audience. So you just save the maximum amount of money when you mention my channel, and you're also helping me out as well because I will be slightly compensated. And if you need nationwide shipping, they can provide that as well. I've had 2 vehicles shipped, never had an issue. But you can also pick up in DC or in California and save on that shipping cost because their partner dealers, they are located in DC and in California. But all of their information will be linked in the description box below. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.